There you are, my beautiful people. Welcome back to another thrilling episode of the most disturbing videos on the internet today. For context, don't believe everything you hear or see on this video. It is strictly for entertainment purposes only. If you would like to, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We have one of the best communities on YouTube, and I'd love to have you around here. With that being said, this is the most disturbing videos on the internet today. Let's dive in. Self-defense art. Kuno Mati.
You need to learn how to bite.
And the time code will start.
Okay. This should be a sufficient amount of damage to do. You need to learn how to bite.
They need to name that zombie Quando, to be honest with you. What type of savage? Oh, I guess in a street fight anything goes, but dang. Zombie Quando. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
I can't prove it, but there's so much circumstantial evidence that there have been other orders of civilization that utilize completely different energy regimes, primarily based, I would believe, if I had to conjecture, I would believe on plasma, based upon the utilization of plasma, the fourth state of matter. Because I've seen prototypes that are being tested now as we speak that seem to have a lot of parallels with descriptions of some of the ancient civilizations years ago. It's been a while, but I kind of immersed myself in the Vedas. And I do remember reading, the Vimana, the flying machines, the Vajra, the ultimate instrument of cosmic power. I believe behind those stories there is actual technologies that were being employed that have been forgotten.
100%. We could just look at all the old world structures for one example and just wonder, how did they do this? What type of ancient technology made this possible?
A lot of people are waking up and they're no longer lovers of this world. They don't care about the materialistic stuff, and they're no longer willing to to give away their life force in exchange for money that's an illusion. The reason why I say it's an illusion, because the land is free to live off of. They cut down all the fruit trees and put all the fruit in the store and have us going to work, giving our life force in exchange for money so we can go in the grocery store and buy the fruits that are free. A lot of us are not going back to these corporations because we don't want to be turned into a corpse. We're working 20 to 40 years, and some of us don't even make it that long. And those that do make it that long to retirement age to get that money, it's not going to be enough. And that's why you see a lot of seniors starting a second job, and they're broke down, and a lot of them are not well, and they're trying to make ends meet. So they have to get this second job. Even when they're getting Social Security on top of their retirement, it's still not enough. It's a trap. A lot of people are waking up to these mortgages, and they're not willing to pay a mortgage for 15, 30 years. That's probably going to send them to the morgue anyway. And once you pay that house off, and if you do live long enough to pay that house off, it's still not yours. Miss a couple of years or a few years of paying those taxes and see what the tax office is going to do. See if your house is going to be sold from right underneath you because you can't afford to pay the taxes anymore. A lot of these people are not into these high-end cars anymore that stays in the shop probably more than some of us have the car, and you're paying that expensive car note when a car shouldn't even be that expensive. The prices of cars nowadays are ridiculous. A lot of people are walking away from these car notes, and two, at the end of paying that car note, the car is probably not going to be any good, or it's going to break down shortly after you make that final car payment. A lot of people are walking away from marriages that no longer serves them. It's like once you sign that marriage certificate, which is a spell or a contract, things changes. I look at the word license. It's like it has the word lie in there. You can hear it, license. It's like their whole life changes when they sign it. They have smexless marriages. They sleep in separate bedrooms. They barely even talk, and they don't do anything together. When you see them out, they're normally alone or by themselves, and some of us don't even know these people are married unless they tell us that they're married. A lot of these people are walking away from family members and friends. Some of our family members and friends are lovers of this world. All they care about is themselves. All they care about is what type of car they have, what type of house they have. All they care about is money, which is an illusion, and all they care about is the trips that they can take, and they don't care about helping anyone else, and they don't care about the state of the world. It's a me, and my, and how my stuff look better than yours. yours or how my car looks better than yours, like a competitive spirit. And it's not even about materialistic stuff. They're still lovers of this world. So a lot of us are walking away from people that are lovers of this world.
I remember back in the day, Craigslist, you can get a winter beater for $500. Good luck trying to find that now. It seems like you can't get anything for under $3,000-$4,000. And I also get the frustration with the housing market, but you also have to do what you can and must to make sure that your kids don't go through the same cycle. Sometimes you have to take yourself out of the equation for a better future.
Do you know that Black America saved Cadillac in 1934? Cadillac wouldn't even exist today had it not been for Black America in 1934. And I can tell you exactly how they did it. First, you have to understand Henry Ford had 3 car companies. First was a complete failure, sold the assets. He had a second car company which failed, and a man named Henry Leland bought it and turned it into Cadillac. And then Henry had a third company we know as Ford Motor Company. But Henry didn't really do the work. He hired some brothers and then tried to cut the brothers out. Those brothers started a car company named Dodge. So I want you to understand how incestuous this is. So Henry Leland started Cadillac. GM bought it in 1919 from him. So now General Motors has it. It's one of the top luxury brands in America. But when the Great Depression hit in 1928, nobody had money, right? You don't have auto loans. They did not exist back then. So if you couldn't pay cash for a car, you weren't getting it, and banks failed, nobody had money. So Cadillac lost 85% of their sales in 5 years. They were literally in the board meeting to shut Cadillac down when their service manager nationwide come in and goes, I think I can save the company. Like, whatever, how? He goes, we don't sell to anybody but white people. And Black Americans in the South are paying white guys $300 cash over and above the price of the car so they can drive it. The elite, the judges, the attorneys, the entertainers who can afford it. And Cadillac's like, what do we got to lose? So in 1934, they opened it up, the first car company ever to have integrated sales. And Black Americans bought so many Cadillacs in 1934, sales went up 70%. Wow. Now I want you to ask yourself, this is the Great Depression. Nobody has money. There's bread lines. How can Black Americans afford to save a luxury brand?
Because they didn't know.
How?
They
couldn't put their money in banks. Yeah. And all the banks failed. All the white people lost their money. The law of unintended consequences kept Black America from being harmed by the Great Depression like everybody else, believe it or not. Yeah. And I talked to a gentleman who said the only reason my granddad said he knew it was a Great Depression because he saw a white man picking out of his trash. Oh. I was like, wow. Yeah. So in doing this, it turned Cadillac around. And Cadillac became the first auto manufacturer to hire Black Americans on the design and style team, not just the factory. So Cadillac became one of the first integrated brands. And a lot of times we have stereotypes about Black America loves Cadillacs. Now you know why. They save the damn car.
I did not Cadillac.
Man, I love humans, man. I love white people, black. It doesn't matter, man. I got love for everybody the same amount. That honestly had to be one of the coolest things I've heard all day.
Believing in yourself may be the most important thing in life. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe. And you can do anything. You can do anything. And if anybody challenges that, you tell them Bob said you could do anything. Believing in yourself may be.
Get 'em, Bob.
Here we go. Different format. I pulled out just a little bit to show the Hellfire making contact with the UAP. This is a much different format. And we're going to zoom in a little bit closer, take a couple of looks at the Hellfire making impact. It does indeed impact what appears to be the back half of this unknown object flying off the coast of Yemen. Right there it makes impact. You can see it knocks it off course. And as you're going to see, somehow or another, right there following the impact, these 3 objects appear in the sky following the primary object right there. So the primary target turned into not only 1, but 4 targets now. There's 1, 2, 3, now 4. It survived the strike. And the gentleman that testified before Congress said nothing that we have should have survived that strike. And it turned into three smaller ones, and then the main primary one continued on. This one here turned out pretty good. You can see that these things are the same shape and same size. Look at that. And this one here started to glow for whatever reason, almost as if it had some sort of an energy field around it. Maybe it was some sort of a propulsion system. This one here started glowing, and then that one there started glowing. The smaller things you see are reflections off the top of the water. Those things definitely had density. Let me go back to that one right there. That one right there turned out pretty good. You can see those things clearly are the same shape. Those aren't random pieces of debris, guys. So whatever that missile impacted, it didn't seem to affect it hardly at all. Here we go. Different format. I pulled out just a little bit.
I literally thought these were fragments from the actual Hellfire that they fired at it. But it turns out these were, it looks like part of the UFO that came off, like almost like a defense system.
Terminator wasn't a movie. It was a documentary because the T-1000s, you know, those liquid robots, they're real.
These shape-shifting robots can flow like water and squeeze through tight spaces, all without losing their structural integrity. Researchers at Seoul National University have created what they've referred to as particle-armored liquid robots, or PBs, blatantly rejecting the more obvious PALBOT acronym. It's essentially a drop of water coated with a dense layer of hydrophobic particles. This particle armor provides structural stability while maintaining the fluidity of the liquid core. These PBs can navigate complex environments, engulf and transport cargo, merge with other PBs, and even cross from water to land without losing integrity, allowing researchers to create most over-engineered lemming simulator possible. They're propelled using acoustic radiation forces, think basically sound waves pushing them along. But how do you coat a drop of water in hydrophobic particles that are repelled from water in the first place? That's the key innovation here. The paper describes by freezing water into cuboid shape, most people call ice cubes, and coating them with PTFE particles, then allowing the ice to melt, these researchers produced these cuter cousins of the T-1000. The increased particle density achieved in this method enhances the mechanical stability, allowing the PBs to withstand compression and impact forces that would rupture less armored liquid robots. The research team hopes that these soft wireless robots may hold future use inside the human body to deliver to where they're needed, like directly to a tumor site.
AI is like 100% demons. Like, I don't know if you know that. Like, it's ran by demons. The actual term for AI is daemon. In computing, it's the term given to processes that run in the background, not under direct control of the user. And this is the danger of AI that I see. It's basically a modern day Ouija board. What ends up happening is demons have a power to subtly shift the outcome of things. But you, as the user, have to be the one that is relinquishing the right or aiding the demon in that support because they're very weak in the physical realm. They're spiritual beings. So they got to possess you in a sense to kind of influence you. And so AI is a very easy way for the demon to communicate with this reality. The information it's getting, it's just ones and zeros, and they can make a 1 and a 0 flip to go the right direction they need it to. And so like asking it logical questions is, I think, acceptable to some degree. But when you get to the point where you're like, should I date this person? Bro, you're just doing the same thing as Ouija boarding and you're going to get an answer. But you think it's the AI giving you the answer. At a certain point, the demon can take over the AI. AI is like 100% demons. Like,
wow, AI is the modern day Ouija board. Yikes.
Apparently, it was carrying a payload of these things, whatever they were. 3 came out. It may have been carrying more. We can see 3 for sure, and they appear to be aerodynamic as they started following the primary object. Here I have it in ultra slow motion, pretty much frame by frame. I was looking for anything else that may have shown up in the video that we didn't see. And right there's where it started glowing. And then these start glowing almost as if they had some sort of a power source. Highly unusual. You can't make this stuff up. So yes, there was an event that occurred off the coast of Yemen. And whatever this thing was that was spotted off the coast of Yemen took a direct impact from a Hellfire missile and survived. What type of technology could this have possibly been? And it wasn't just one piece of technology. As you can see from this video footage here, this enhanced video footage, it wasn't just one object. It appears to have been multiple objects. There were smaller objects of the same size, shapes, and dimensions inside of the primary object. So there's the analysis, guys, of the super rare video footage taken from the coast of Yemen of an unidentified flying object that took a direct impact. Apparently, it was carrying
Hellfire versus UFO. UFO just act like nothing happened. They went into defensive measures. And I know a lot of people are saying those were the fragments of the Hellfire, but it actually looks like 3 identical ships that came off of one larger UFO. Like they opened the port bay, the back door, and released them. Like, y'all really don't want these problems. Now that I think of it, every single UFO video I've ever watched, none of them are hostile. If anything, they're disarming something or they're just trying to get away. Like they're observing us. Like, interesting.
Children don't arrive into consciousness until around 6 or 7 sometimes.
So I would disagree with that. I think children are very much conscious than us, especially when you're talking about like on a theta state. Children are very conscious. Now, what happens with children is we mold them and we dumb down their consciousness. Like, have you ever seen a child when they're like 3 and they play with toys or they play with imaginary shit, and in their mind it is real? They got capes on, they jumping off couches, they talking about monsters, they see things that's invisible. They have an invisible friend that is real to them, having full-blown conversations. They're interacting with other dimensions of densities. They dream. Their imagination is out of this world. They make a whole house out of a damn box that you order from Amazon. Then we constantly tell them no. We tell them don't jump or you bust your head. We installing fear into them. We telling them what to watch. We turning on the TVs. We introducing them into these electronics, EMF frequencies like cell phones and tablets. We are dumbing down their consciousness. And I think the children are here to really teach us on how to be free, so we can be free thinkers to expand our consciousness.
Children don't arrive into consciousness.
And also children, babies, they just came from the Father, so they're the closest to the Father than anything. Children, kids, babies, they just came from God. So that's another reason why I think that they're extremely special as well. Us, we've been on this earth, a couple decades, we're corrupted, but kids, they're innocent, pure. You know what time it is. If you thought I didn't have another excellent specimen for you today, think again. Right, wow, look at this one. Malachite. Look at the geodes in that. Okay, we have a quartz. I wanted to go back and see that last one, but that quartz is crystal clear. Okay, we on rapid fire today. Groden rooted quartz, celestial. Wow. Look at the octahedrals from that. Aquamarine. Looks like it has something growing from the side. Muscovite. If I'm saying that right. What a beautiful color. What would you name these guys? Wow, look at this. This one looks like a petrified ancient dinosaur prehistoric leaf is caught inside. How crazy is that? Okay. Calcite, amethyst, and geothite, if I'm saying that right. Another gorgeous specimen. Rainbow obsidian. Wow. Like a purple Grand Canyon in that. Dragon calcite. I couldn't have named it any better. It looks like a dragon tail. They snapped it straight off. A dragon fragment. And this citronine. This looks like the thing on Jurassic Park where they had the mosquito inside. Calcite, amethyst, geothite. Very fascinating. Guys, we're not done. I want you to tell me your favorite one out of all these. They're all exceptional. This rutilated quartz. I'm trying, guys. These are difficult. Please forgive me. Black amethyst. This looks like a dragon. Could be part of a dragon tail. Pyrite. Wow. I wonder if they shine these up, or is that the actual raw mineral looking like that? Like it's polished. This looks like ice cubes. Oh, calcite, amethyst, geotite. Interesting. And the amethyst flower. All of these were extraordinary. Even the backdrop with the flowers. That is nice. This would have to be my favorite one. The very first one we showed us. Malachite. I'd have to even know what to name it. What would you guys name it? Alright, Niagara Falls Portal, Hidden Caves, Part 2.
Come on, this is very, very scary. Oh, this is an early recording of a demon exhibition in the early 1900s. As you can see in this video, the demon is displaying some of his acrobatic moves for the whole world to see. Come on, this is very, very scary. Oh my goodness.
Now that had to be CGI. Ain't no way in heck a demon gonna be running around prancing like that. Or I could be wrong. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think? Have you heard of Billy Myers?
Billy Meyer is a soon-to-be 70-year-old man living in Switzerland. He claims that his first contacts with extraterrestrials took place when he was only a 5-year-old boy. I personally showed Meyer's UFO photos and films to the owners of the company that won the Academy Award for Special Effects. When I asked them if these were models, these photos and films, they said, no. I asked, can you duplicate Meyer's films? And they said, if we could, we'd have to go to CGI in 1976 and 78. There was no Photoshop, no CGI.
I once made recordings of the whirring sounds of Semyaze's beam ship.
8 different sound engineers had the opportunities to analyze the sounds. They could find no sound source of record that could produce these sounds.
Krass. Ja, ist gut.
Oh my goodness. I've never heard of this. This was supposed allegedly before Photoshop. And I guess this is enhanced of what it could look like. The fact that he's sitting there so long is almost like he's communicating with it. Like, the questions that's running through my mind is there any telepathy communication going on? Because this has to be some of the best old school UFO footage I have seen. Look, you can see the light blinking. A light blinking on it. And this was what, in the 1970s? Nobody's going that hard, y'all. Billy Myers. Meyer shocked the world back in the day. Have you guys seen this before? Almost like the UFO is his friend or something. What if they're trying to make contact? You know, so many different questions going through my mind when watching this. Definitely interesting. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Alright guys, that's all we have for today's video. My apologies, I try to do these videos a little bit sooner, but your boy had a doctor's appointment. I'm trying to feel better. You know, I got some new medicine, so hopefully I get back to my old energetic self. But, you know, I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me through thick and thin when your boy was sick and, you know, had the breathing machine on. But I am feeling a lot better, and I just want to say thank you guys for your thoughts and prayers. Thank you for rocking with me. Oh yeah, the code word. What's today? I get lost on my days. Let's do a good one. If you made it this far, the code word is Forcefield. Go ahead and drop Forcefield in the comments below. When you hit me with the secret code word, that lets me know you're a real one. You watch my videos all the way to the end, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your guys' support. And yeah, I love you guys, and this was the most disturbing videos on the internet today. Take care.